When the story of prominent Nigerians is told, one man who deserves a mention would be Philip Chukwuedo Asiodu. Born on the 26th of February 1934 in Lagos State, southwest Nigeria, he belongs to the class of very few Nigerian public servants who imbibed the discipline and character that the colonial masters tried to bequeath to Nigerians. He was also among the very few early civil servants who possessed the insight to fashion out the right public service for Nigeria. Chief Philip Asiodu attended King's College, Lagos, and graduated with top grades before proceeding to the Queen's College, Oxford, where he read philosophy, politics, and economics.
In those days, they used to make you put your hand over your head. If it didn't touch your ear, you didn't enter. If they did that to me because I had a big head, I would have not started in time. But I went in just before 5, and luckily, because of tuition we had at home, instead of spending 3 years in the pre-primary, I just spent 2 and then moved on to primary. And so I completed my primary education in Lagos, St. Paul's, Ebutemeta, Standard 5, and was lucky to get into King's College. And from King's College, again, we were lucky, we were the first set to do higher school certificate. And after that, direct entry to the University of Oxford. However, when I finished from Oxford PPE and came to London I had to no scholarships after Oxford. So I was working with the London County Council. But at that time, the nature of politics in Nigeria was becoming such, didn't enthuse me anymore. And while in London, we advertised to start the Foreign Service, select graduates of a certain caliber. And I thought that was attractive. And I applied, interviewed, and was told whenever I reported in Nigeria, I could start work. So I came back in April '57, went to the secretariat, and they said, come next Monday. It was as easy as that in those days. So that was a very important highlight, going around in Nigeria, meeting the residents and the district officers who ran the country.
Chief Philip Asiodu entered the Nigerian Foreign Service at the age of 23 and rose through the ranks to be Chancellor, Nigerian Mission to the United Nations in New York at the dawn of Nigeria's independence. He joined the Nigerian Civil Service in 1964 and became the Federal Permanent Secretary. He later became Special Advisor to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Alhaji Shehu Shagari, on economic affairs. In 1999, he was appointed Chief Economic Advisor to the former Nigerian President, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. Among other leadership roles include the planning and implementation of Nigeria's oil and gas policies. His other achievements in this sector include the establishment of NNOC, the recruitment of several Nigerian graduates for training abroad in oil technology, the partial nationalization of oil exploration and production, the decision in 1975 to establish 2 LNG plants to build refineries in Warri and Kaduna, established the Petroleum Training Institute in Warri. He also took part in the negotiations for Nigeria's admission into OPEC in 1971. Asiodu is a past president of the Nigerian Economic Society, life honorary vice president of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industries. He is a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Management, Nigerian Institute of Directors, and honorary fellow of the Nigerian Society of Mining and Geosciences. Honorary fellow of the Nigerian Academy of Engineering. He was also the recipient of the National Honor of Commander of the Order of the Niger.
If through these sort of awards you now send a message to people that your contributions will be appreciated, your service will be appreciated, even though you are not in Forbes list and they don't see you in a supplement of 30 to 50 pages being celebrated. I think it helps to begin to create of the core values of discipline, hard work, patriotism, integrity, rule of law, quick justicial systems, and so forth. Dedicated to that, so that whoever is elected has to be monitored against those principles. Then we will begin to create a better bedrock for genuine democracy and development.
Philip Asiodu is the head of Nigerian Conservation Foundation, a former chief economic advisor to former President Olusegun Obasanjo, and as chairman of EcoBank Transnational Incorporated. Chief Philip Chukwuedo Asiodu exudes great knowledge and confidence. No wonder he has served Nigeria in its highest capacity.
I think if in life you're already known as a not unsuccessful public servant who did a little bit to contribute, because when I was in industry, I did some contribution and all, I did something, that is enough. Because I will quote to you a poem. So people would like to talk about how they will be remembered, how they will not be remembered. Just remember this, Ozymandias. Look at my works, ye mighty, and despair, but nothing beside remains, endless stretches of sand.